This meeting is being recorded.
If you guys could just go on mute. Yeah, that'd be great. And we will get the other machine running. This machine to record. Okay, it's running. Right. Okay. Welcome, people. I'll just share the screen there. Now this is running. Find the right button. So, welcome to Manifesting the New Earth. This is a free manifestation webinar. We'll use divine healing to help you manifest your vision of the new earth. I'm Nicolas David Ngan of the Centre for Conscious Ascension. I will go through a sort of slightly formal bit here, especially for guys. Hi, Esther. Especially for you guys who are watching this, are going to watch for the first time or watching it on YouTube later, recording. Have a look here. What's going on here? Okay. It's running. And it's playing up with some of the controls here. Stop sharing, something's not working properly here. Going to go. Okay. So Sakina, if you want to join us and with the video, you'll just click yes to being a panelist. It's purely optional though, where you can just chat away to me either by turning the mic on, or there you go, you're coming over there. Okay, that's fine. Hi Sakina, nice to see you.
Hi Nicolas, lovely to see you.
It's the videos. Now I can try and share again. Hopefully it'll behave itself now. Okay. So yeah, welcome to Manifesting the New Earth, this webinar, free webinar here. Oh yeah, Steph, can see you again. So I'll read out the formal bit, then we can sort of relax into this. So, are you here to help the world? To build the new earth out of the ashes of the old matrix, which is collapsing around our ears, which you may have noticed, especially recently, past few years. The old system is completely coming down and a new system is rising. And it's our job as light workers to bring our special gifts of service hidden deep within our soul online. And you may have been trying to get it up and running, but may have found it challenging to clear the emotional blocks to manifesting it. So this is a live manifestation webinar, so you can clear whatever blocks you have within you, so you can feel more fulfilled as you start to deliver your gift of service to the world. Because this is our time, people. It's why we were born, to co-create the new earth. How many of you felt that Earth is really something, for your whole life, felt something's very badly wrong with this place and you really want to do something about it? Put your hand up. There's something not right here at all. Well, it is. It's a highly dissonant reality that's not really worked too well. We're never meant to work too well, the way it's been designed. That's where we come in. And as we deliver our gift of service to the world, we can start to co-create the new earth. Much more loving and connected civilization that values all life and seeks to maximize its potential of individuals and of us as a much more unified race. So this is sort of people just just getting up and running spiritually, but those who are very advanced spiritual seekers as well. So I'd like to find out why you guys are here. Then that will sort of set the scene. What I'd like to find out, you'd like to share your name. It's very voluntary. Where you are and what brought you here, and then I can, like Gustavo, then I can actually, we're setting group intention. Okay. So Gustavo, if you say yes to being a panelist, then you can join us and switch the video on if you want to. It's purely voluntary, or you can just hang out and attend your own game. Okay. Yeti, put your hand up. No, if you want to switch the mic on.
Sorry, that was still from Something's Wrong on This Planet, but I can also say, yeah, who I am. No, I can't put the video on today.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm Gitti. I did the Divine Healing training, and for me, it's I live in Spain, and for me, it's always nice to get a refresher of like how Nicolas does it, and yeah, just to keep in the spirit of the Divine Healing. And I'm a big fan of the Divine Healing, and I've read the book, so yeah, I can highly recommend everything.
Okay. Thank you, Gitti. Who else would like to share what brought them here? Just wave your hand or put your electronic hand up. Sakina, yeah.
Hi. Hi, Nicolas. Hi, everyone here. Lovely to see you all. I've done divine healing, trained in it. So I just wanted to connect, I think. And I've also just recently finished 6 light body sessions, integration sessions. And I wish I'd done them like years ago. But there was a massive block from, it's funny, it's like a loop. So the thing that I needed to remove was blocking me from getting it removed. So I was just like resistant to the light body sessions, which I would highly recommend. But yeah, I think I'm still in a limbo. I'm still stuck, and I'm still not doing the divine healing on myself. That's my major block. And I have been feeling quite apathetic and kind of like, am I done with the planet? Am I done with all of the challenges? And yeah, financially, it would be really good to kind of shift from where my current situation is. So I feel really blessed to be here today. Thank you.
Okay. And where are you based, Sakina?
Oh, London in the UK.
Okay. Thank you. Right. Who else would like to add their contribution of intention and introduce themselves? Cariza?
I'm interested in the divine healing. That's why I put myself up for the webinar. So
Yeah.
I'm here mainly to listen and see what it's all about.
Okay. All right. And you want to share with everyone where you're based?
Amsterdam.
Amsterdam, yeah. Okay. Who's next? Okay, Esther.
Hi, Nicolas. Hi, everyone. Actually, this year I'm focusing more on self-contract reading courses, but I wanted to get a bit of a grasp of what happens in these healing sessions. So that's why I'm here today. So because I really like the concept of the whole work that you do, and I thought I'll be in one of these sessions to see what happens.
Okay, you're welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks for coming. Melissa, nice to see you again.
Hi, nice to see you. Nice to see everybody. So I have went through the level 2 soul contract, and I have my level 3 coming up in November. I feel like, I'm not trained in any kind of like subconscious, unconscious, or any kind of brain rewiring. And I feel like this would be a very good, thing to follow up with people that I do contract reading with, because I feel like I can give them, what their challenges are and their gifts, but I feel like giving them the tools to kind of peel those layers off I'm missing. So I feel like, I can tell someone that maybe they don't feel like worthy enough, because I see that in their chart, and then they feel like they're not worthy of, God's love. I just feel like I'm missing that tool to kind of clear that block, and kind of, I want to talk through their super conscious, and kind of work through that. And I feel like this might be a tool just from other practitioners that I know that have taken the divine healing. I feel like I'm kind of, I feel like it's my time now to kind of jump in. I feel like it's been a missing tool. So, I've been looking at how someone can kind of get through that. Because, yeah, you can give them all that information on the soul contract, but it's really that next level of clearing it. And I feel like even if we do meditations and we do Reiki, and I feel like we're still going to have that in our subconscious. And I went through NLP myself, like 12 weeks of it. And it was beautiful, but I feel like there was so much talking that I feel like a non-talking therapy is kind of where I feel like I need in my corner. And I feel like, I went through a few divine healing sessions with some practitioners, and I just actually fell in love with it. So I feel like this is my time now to kind of jump on board and see if this is a fit for me.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, we do a bit of talking in divine healing, not quite as much as NLP. So it is based on action you shall receive, but mainly bringing feeling consciousness to whatever's
Yeah.
arising out of the ego. And it is a great hybrid combination, which most of our practitioners use for a soul contract. Gives the spiritual map of life, so you know where you're meant to go for the first time, which is a revelation in itself. And then divine healing clears the pathway to move forward in life. Because you know what's in the program. So it makes life flow more gracefully, basically.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of people are just, even though it's great, they're like, you're reading your book and they see, there's remedies, but I feel like so many people are still kind of left hanging. Like, what do I do now? So I'm excited.
Yeah. This is what divine healing's for. It's here to put into action everything, all the potential in your contract. Okay, Kimberly, do you want to say something there? If you just unmute there, put your hand up. You want to unmute there, or bottom left. Or do you want to come into the main room? I can't hear you at the moment. Maybe we'll try. If you say yes to being a panelist, then the sound might work. You got your hand up. Doesn't seem to be working. Yeah, the audio button's on the bottom left if you want to speak. Just to click on it to unmute. No? Okay. All right. I'll leave you for now then. Lavinia, you're an old hand at this. Do you want to introduce yourself?
Hello, everyone. I'm based in Essex, in the UK. I have done a lot of divine healing, which I love. I'm here because really to reconnect. I've had quite a major health issue 2 years ago, and I want to reconnect. But the main thing that brought me here is the manifesting the new earth, which I think is top of the list for me.
Okay, thank you. All right. Okay. Anyone else want to introduce themselves from the attendee room? And Kimberly, do you want to say anything, or the other guys there? You can put it in the chat if you want, or just switch the sound on. It's up to you. You don't have to if you don't want. It's entirely up to you. Just means we get to know you a little bit. No? Okay, we'll start. Okay, so let's talk about how this works. All right. So let me share the screen here. So I'm going to give a brief explanation of how we got here and how divine healing can help us manifest the new earth. We each have a piece of that new earth. Basically, what happens is that we come from source in the 12th dimension. And source is, God, all that is, whatever you want to call it. We wanted to expand its consciousness. So what it did is it created an out-breath of itself. And it realized it needed to go have a feeling experience of feeling separate from itself, to see if it could actually return, go as far from itself as possible in consciousness, and then see if it could return home. So it densified parts of itself, little sparks of itself into the 11th dimension, 10th dimension, all the way down to the 3rd dimension. Yeah, that's us. We're in these supposedly solid bodies. And it got to the point where we had an ego construct around us created by the soul contract. We actually forgot we came from here. You know how some people say, when I die, I'm just dust, there's nothing else. That shows you how separate we've got. Forgetting this is where we come from. Because we have this interference zone here and here, which creates a barrier to opening to higher consciousness. And the 5th dimension is the last place where we feel unified with everything. Then we have the astral plane, which you see in the movies a lot. And then you have the 3rd dimension, which is this supposedly solid reality, which is really densified light. It's like a massive 3-dimensional projection screen, where our consciousness creates a holographic bubble around us of our reality. Okay, and it's called a holographic matrix, which we perceive as real, but it's driven by our soul contract and all our programs in there. And a lot of the times when we start off in life, it's not particularly pleasant. It's very challenging with our karmic patterns to get our attention. And the purpose of divine healing is to transmute all our soul contract programs so we get a better holographic matrix that flows more gracefully, more lovingly, more abundantly. So you have a whole bunch of us, 8 billion of us, all each in our little holographic matrix bubbles, creating reality. And a lot of common realities are created because of the belief systems in the matrix. And what happens is that most people are focused on all the things which aren't working in their life. Okay. So, I'm trying to get this pen here. So, this is all that we are. Most of the time, our ego is focused looking at our navel on all the things which aren't working. It could be our unworthiness, our disempowerment, our lack of trust. It could be feeling stuck, whatever's running for you. And they seem like massive issues because that's all we've ever focused on. Right? Because that's what the ego does. The ego is trying to keep us separate from God. Trying to keep us from getting home. Yeah. Okay. So, whoops. Just want to. That was an accidental line. So, what we need to do in order to create a new reality for ourselves individually and collectively is move our focus away from these things which are stealing all our energy and look at the positive energy. Well, what do we want to create in our life? To manifest our soul purpose, which then helps us manifest the new earth, because we each have a piece to play in that. And the way we do that is that we start by peeling our ego onion here. And our soul contract creates our ego onion. Yeah. This is the pure love that we are, the flame of consciousness. And this is the many layered ego onion created by our soul contract. I see to switch on an external fan for my computer because my laptop's starting to internal fan starting to make a lot of noise. Just give me a sec. Okay, thanks for that. So divine healing is the process of connecting to our higher self, where we are going to connect to our higher self here in the fifth and sixth dimension or higher. This is the part of us that created us the way we are. It determined what was going to be in our soul contract. It built all our programs. It created this experiment in consciousness of who we are. And these many layers of the ego onion. So because the higher self created us, it knows the right order in which to peel these layers of the ego onion. So if we align to it, okay, and I've aligned all of you before we started the session, and then we listen to the higher self, it can show us what layers to take off. And the idea is to basically peel this ego onion with divine healing and get back to the flame of consciousness, the pure love that we are, so we can unleash our gift of service on the world and help create the new earth. Okay. So how do we do that? Well, here's how we do it. The fact that you're here, interested in this, is showing that you have a willingness and desire and courage to work on your issues. You're interested in healing yourself. So we all have issues. It's the nature of being human. In order to be separate from God, we've got to have this emotional separation patterns, which is these red dots, this red dot. Okay. It could be fear of manifesting your soul purpose, for example. So if we bring our feeling consciousness in here, there's not a thought process. Most humans are very left brain oriented. It's the way the matrix is designed. So we have to try and think our way through moving forward in life. What we're doing here is that we're going to feel our way through. So you can bring feeling consciousness to this program, you can heal it, because what you feel, you can heal. As I said earlier, I think I might sneeze. I feel like a bit of hay fever coming on. It's getting quite warm here in England. So, and the ego is very aware that we're going to try and do that. So what it does is it puts up defense mechanisms, puts up this layer of emotional numbness, emotional ice around our programs to numb us out so we can't feel what's going on. Because what you can't feel, you can't heal. Okay? It makes it more difficult to get into this program here. And because of the scientific orientation of the matrix, and we've learned to control our emotions with the prefrontal cortex. So, when people say, I think I feel this, I used to say that a lot. I was very much in my head when I was younger. That's the prefrontal cortex in control. Until one day I started feeling real emotion, and it was quite a shock. They were quite intense. I knew they were there, just it took time to get to them. So what happens is that divine healing it breaks through with love, this defense mechanisms of the ego. All right. And as a group, we're going to do some of this today. And as spirit starts to descend, as spirit starts to move, the energy grace descends from high consciousness, which allows us to bring awareness into these programs here. And we can feel it and we can let it go and transmute it. Because all the soul wants us to do is to feel our way through our soul contract programs. And then to transmute them, then they're gone. And actually, once you do it a few times, you realize it wasn't such a big deal after all. Even though the ego's been trying to tell us it's going to hurt, it's going to be painful if we actually go into our feelings. When it's not too bad after all. Well, most of the time. So that's the principle of divine healing. So what we're going to do here is we're going to do a meditation of oneness And what I want you to do is just close your eyes and connect in with your vision of the new earth. We each carry a vision. What that is, and keep it, it's sacred, just keep it to yourself. Okay. How would that feel as if the new earth had manifested? Don't worry about how we're going to get there. Just be in the feeling state of it's already been done. This is good manifestation training. Okay. Close your eyes and lean back and breathe through your mouth to keep yourself in the body. If you breathe through the nose, you tend to stay in the mind. Okay. So breathe into the heart space and set clear intent of what you wish to create as if it's already done. And then the universe is going to start to manifest around that. So do this now. And leaning back is important from the vertical because it keeps us in the feminine flow. We lean forward, the mental body cuts and it's trying to figure this out, what we're actually doing here. And that's not really helping us so much. And it's important to have no negatives either. Like if you say no more war, then actually you're going to get more war. So focus in that case on peace because the universe doesn't recognize negatives. The mind's going to chatter away as well, but that's normal. But just observe it. Okay. Make the resistance. And just feel what it's like. I'm doing this with you. Now what we're going to do, in order to manifest our piece of the new earth, we're going to do what's called the unified chakra meditation, which some of you may be familiar with. Where we're going to go from the space of us in the third dimension, we're going to expand our consciousness, our awareness, and connect all the way back to source, the 12th dimension. Because actually we're part of all this, just that our focus is on the third dimension. Because when we focus and unify and connect to all that is, we can then draw to us the reality that's in our heart. It could be from the fifth dimension, usually is from higher. We can bring it into our manifest reality. Because this is a three-dimensional projection screen. You can get nothing from this reality because it's just like going to the movies. But you can pull it in from the higher dimensions there. Which is what we're going to do because it's part of you when you're unified with it. So it's not separate. If we feel it's separate from us, we can never draw it into our reality. Yep. What I want you to do now is breathe through your mouth, breathe into the heart, and breathe the ultraviolet light of the soul into the center of the heart, creating a glowing ball of light. It's important to keep the eyes closed so the mind is calmed. Breathe the ultraviolet light of the soul into the center of the heart and expand and encompass the throat chakra and the solar plexus, forming one unified field of light within, through, and around your body. Breathe the ultraviolet light of the soul into the center of your heart and expand and encompass the brow chakra and the navel chakra, forming one unified field of light within, through, and around your body. Just need to check my thing. Breathe your awareness into the center of your heart and expand and encompass crown chakra and the base chakra, forming one unified field of light within, through, and around your body. Breathe your awareness into the center of the heart. And expand and encompass the astral, or the alpha chakra, one hand length above the crown or slightly forward, and the omega chakra, one hand length below the base of your spine, forming one unified field of light within, through, and around your body. And allow what we call the waves of Metatron, magnetic, electric, and gravitational waves, to vibrate between the alpha and the omega chakras, and to merge with the astral, causal, and electromagnetic bodies, to form what we call the kingdom. Breathe your awareness into the center of the heart, and expand and encompass the eighth chakra, one hand length directly above your head and your upper thighs, forming one unified field of light within, through, and around your body. And allow the emotional body to merge with the physical fields. Breathe your awareness into the center of the heart, and expand and encompass the ninth chakra, two hand lengths above the head and the lower thighs, forming one unified field of light within, through, and around your body. And allow the mental body to merge with the physical fields. Breathe your awareness into the center of the heart, and expand and encompass the 10th chakra, three hand lengths above the head and the knees, forming one unified field of light within, through, and around your body. And allow the spiritual body to merge with the physical fields to create the throne. Breathe your awareness into the center of the heart, and expand and encompass the 11th chakra way above your head and your upper calves, forming one unified field of light within, through, and around your body. And allow the oversoul to merge with the throne. Breathe your awareness into the center of your heart, and expand and encompass the 12th chakra way above your head in your lower calves, forming one unified field of light within, through, and around your body. And allow the Christ oversoul to merge with the throne. Breathe your awareness into the center of the heart, and expand and encompass the 13th chakra way above your head and your feet, forming one unified field of light within, through, and around your body. And allow the I am oversoul to merge with the throne. Breathe your awareness into the center of the heart, and expand and encompass the 14th chakra way above your head and way below your feet, forming one unified field of light within, through, and around your body. And allow source to merge with the throne. So now we're breathing in the third dimensional plane into all parts of us, all the way back to source. So we are now one with all that is. And from this place, we can manifest anything which is in divine order for us, to bring it from the high dimensions into this reality. Now we're going to get into the manifestation process of your piece of manifesting the new earth. And this is based upon the Manifest Your Destiny book, Wayne Dyer. I've just added in this unified chakra and get my other processes here. And what we're going to do is I want you to feel in your heart that manifestation you connected with before. Feel it as if it's very real. Take it down to your base chakra, because this is the source of manifestation. Okay? We're going to do a sound meditation here using the sounds of God. So you're in your unified field and you're focused on your base chakra. We're going to make the sound ah. Okay? You make the sound ah. What I want you to do is to switch your mics on, be able to, because we can hear each other. It's more powerful. You don't have to if you don't want, but it's optional. Okay? And as you make the sound ah, I want you to move that manifestation from the base all the way up to the ground. We're going to clear the pranic tube. That's the first thing we're going to do. So just do this now, people. Just go ah,
Ah.
ah, ah,
Ah.
ah,
Ah.
ah,
Ah.
ah, ah. And visualizing, feeling it, what's already done. Ah, ah, ah. And normally we do that for about 7 minutes at sunrise. Okay, it's just a time of great manifestation. Well, I'm just teaching you to do this. So the second breath is we use the sound ah. We go from the base to the crown, then we go out to all that is. Okay, and we're encompassing that manifestation, which has already been done in the high dimensions. So we're breathing from base to crown out to oneness. Ah. 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 Because we're this manifestation's already done. Ah. 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 Okay, so that's the second phase. Now the next phase is where we're going to do the same sound, but we're going to go from take the manifestation from our base chakra, the creative center, up to the crown, and out to all that is. This time we're going to focus on feeling gratitude for our manifestation as it's already been done, because gratitude opens up a direct connection between our heart and source, it bypasses all the ego resistance and any other programs in the way to bring the manifestation into into reality. So here we go. Gratitude. Ah.
Ah.
Ah. Ah. Ah. Ah. Ah. Ah. Ah. As you do this, become aware of anything the ego brings up emotionally, any resistance or any programs, because it's going to go, no way do I want you to go and create this new earth through manifesting your soul purpose. And it's going to flush out any programs which are trying to stop you doing this. And so just be present with them, because we're ambushing them, bringing them out. And then we're going to do some divine healing as a group to clear them. Let's do a few more R's. Ah. 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 Okay, just relax, keeping your eyes closed, present with what's come up. Okay, become very aware of what's come up, but still staying focused on what you desire to create at all times. We're not giving these programs any more attention than necessary. We're becoming conscious of them, but we're not letting them dominate us. Okay? Yeah. So what we're going to do now is that I'm going to clear, keeping your eyes closed, I'm going to clear the interference, which is at the lower end of the astral plane, that stops us connecting to our manifestation. We're doing this quietly. You may feel we're going to have things like earthbound souls, these are beings who are attached to you, who've left the body, haven't gone to the astral plane. I'm going to clear some of these guys. You may feel things moving in your fields. You may feel on the surface of your body, in your body. You may feel things move around. So here we go. So we done quietly. So they're leaving now. Feel the shift. And we thank the angels for their help and assistance with this. And now we're going to work on clearing extraterrestrial presences. Nothing to be worried about. These are just they're vibrating at a high level, so you can't see them, but they're just really fascinated by our vast range of human emotions. Okay. I'm going to clear them now, because the very fact of them observing us changes the nature of what they're observing by the law of relativity. Now we're going to remove discards, entities, and attachments. Basically, everything else that you can have as interferences, which are blocking your connection to manifestation, blocking your connection to higher consciousness. Here we go. Leaving now, feel the energy shift. And making sure they don't come back. I want you to keep breathing through your mouth into that unified chakra, staying connected to your manifestation of the new earth, and be aware of any emotion that came up. Okay? And be aware of how that program operates in your life. Now we're bringing consciousness to this, okay? Bring feeling consciousness to it. Without going into story, just feel all aspects of it. Become aware where it originates from. It might be a past life, could be from early in this life, could be from a parallel reality. Just, if you get some awareness, that's helpful because it targets the program. It's what we do in divine healing, we target programs. The more focused we are on, the deeper the clearing. And open to all aspects of that feeling. And breathe and expand your feeling awareness into it. I'm aware of any attachment the ego has to hanging on to this. Any feelings of being bad for having it. The ego's always feeling bad about most things. And all judgment around it. And the more you can open to it, the more it can integrate and heal. So now we're gonna do a command code to actually clear this program. In the Divine Healing 1 manual. I'm going to read this out to you in bite-sized chunks, keeping your eyes closed. I'm going to use Saint Germain to clear this program. Repeat after me. We command Saint Germain.
We command Saint Germain
To pour the purple flame.
to blow the purple flame
Through the aura and subtle bodies.
through the aura and subtle bodies.
To burn away all low frequency energies.
To burn away all the low frequent energies.
That we have discovered.
That we have discovered.
So that new higher level vibrations.
New level vibrations.
Can be accessed, accepted, and encoded.
Encoded.
And when you say these commands, you must mean it. Okay. And say Saint Germain and higher self.
Saint Germain.
Please burn out in one go.
Please burn out in one go.
100% the core issue.
100% the core issue.
Through all levels and dimensions.
Through all levels and dimensions.
100% the original cause.
100% the original cause.
Through all levels and dimensions.
Through all levels and dimensions.
We're having little pauses here. Just let it happen. 100% the source of its power.
100% of its source power.
Through all levels and dimensions.
All levels and dimensions.
100% all energy attached.
100% all energies attached.
Through all levels and dimensions.
Through all levels and dimensions.
100% all of its effects.
100% in all of its effects.
Through all levels and dimensions.
Through all levels and dimensions.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Feel the shift as that program leaves, because you've felt it, and then you through bringing feeling conscious into it as much as you could, and then you basically command it to clear. And the higher self, provided it feels you've cleared enough, it'll just take that layer out, and it'll be as if that program is never there. That's the beauty of divine healing. Sometimes you can completely forget what you're actually working on because it's just taken out cleanly. You just breathe into that clearer space, however that is for you. A lot of our experience is created by our past lives. So I want you to focus your attention on the past lives that created that particular separation program. And we're going to clear the past lives rounds. We're actually going to use a past life death chart, but we're not going to use the death bit. We're just going to use the life itself. Okay. So you may see little strands of energy extending behind you into the time-space continuum of, I can see 2 lifetimes which are blocking. You may sense them, however, you pick them up, blocking me, and manifesting my vision of the new earth. So just be aware of them. And I'm going to say this command code in bite-sized chunks. Higher self, please clear, heal, and integrate
So clear, heal, and integrate
all these files and memories,
all these files and memories,
including all cellular memories,
including all cellular memories,
the DNA and the subatomic levels.
the DNA and the subatomic levels.
I am now ready
I am now ready
to heal all traumatic lifetimes
to heal all traumatic lifetimes
at all levels and dimensions,
at all levels and dimensions,
all time frames, realities, and universes.
all time frames, reality, universe.
So that's going to be cleared now. So we give it a little pause, let it happen there. I command that any soul fragments
I command that any soul fragments
held with these memories
with these memories
are now returned to me,
return to me,
fully whole and intact.
fully whole and intact.
I welcome these soul fragments back.
Welcome these soul fragments back.
Little pause there, let that happen. We've got to pause during divine healing to allow the things to happen. I command that the whole holographic matrix
I command that the holographic matrix
be repaired
be repaired
through all layers and levels,
to all layers and levels,
in order to fit alignment,
in order for alignment,
integration,
integration,
and balance.
and balance.
Allow for wholeness to emerge.
Let wholeness to emerge.
You let that happen. Divine healing is sort of like structured prayer, really. It's asking, commanding the higher self to do certain things for us once we're aligned to it. When it's done, then we say thank you
Thank you.
and embrace the shift. Let's sit in that energy for a bit. Okay, so we've dismantled a couple of good chunks of the ego then, or in terms of ego programming, blocking the manifestation of our vision of the new earth. So now we need to integrate ourselves because we need to keep stable. So we're going to infuse frequencies of nutrition. Okay, so you can open your eyes now, and we're on the nutrition chart in the level 1 manual. Okay, so in divine healing, we have lots of choices in terms of on each chart, in terms of different frequencies we can use, and the higher self knows exactly which frequency to choose from. And the principle of nutrition is it's based on the idea that the physical nutrition contains a certain frequency. So what we're doing is we're bypassing the actual physical nutrition and just downloading the frequency here. So the way this works is that we pick a letter A or D, A to D. In this case, we'll just pick a number 1 to 4. And A or 1 is an amino acid. B or 2 is an essential fatty acid. Here. C or 3 is a mineral, and D is a vitamin, or 4. And under each of these, there's a certain number of these different minerals or vitamins. So the higher self knows exactly what we need here. So the way we do this is we do a thing called number mapping. We're basically asking the higher self, well, give me a number 1 to 4. It'll tell us the number in our head. So I want you to close your eyes, and I'm just going to ask you to pick a number, and whatever arrives first, it's a correct number, because you're all aligned with the higher self. Okay, and then write it down. So close your eyes and lean back a bit. Pick a number 1 to 4 and write it down. Okay, like I got 3, I got minerals here. Okay, it'll be the correct number. So those of you who got 1 or amino acids, there's 26 of these amino acids. Some of them are hard to pronounce, but it doesn't really matter. And we don't have to know exactly what they do. So I'm going to do the same thing again. This is the second tier. So those of you who got amino acids, keep your eyes closed and pick a number 1 to 26 and write down the first number that comes in your head. And find out what it is. For example, if you had 13, write down isoleucine. Okay. Those you got 2 or B, you chose essential fatty acids. So close your eyes and pick a number 1 to 20 and write that number down. Like if you got 13, it'll be oleic acid. Write down whichever one it is. All that intention, we're actually stacking these pieces of data into what we call the divine healing stack. That piece of information goes in just by our focusing on it. Okay. Don't struggle to remember it because already the higher self already knows what it is. Okay. All right. Those of you got 3 or C, some minerals. Keep your eyes closed and pick a number 1 to 22. Write that down and then see which one you got here. Like 16 is silicon, for example. Those of you got 4, which is vitamins, close your eyes and pick a number 1 to 27. So you got 10, for example, it's vitamin A is going to be infused. Okay. So that each of those, your particular nutrition is sitting in the divine healing stack, but we haven't done anything with it yet. We've just been diagnosing to figure out which one your higher self wants you to have. Because your higher self has a complete overview of exactly where everything is in you. It knows exactly what to choose. And as I said at the beginning, this is asking, you shall receive. Okay, so now switch your mics on, everybody. We're going to do this command code together now. We're going to command particular nutrition that you chose, just sitting in your divine healing stack, to be infused in you. Here we go. Repeat after me. Higher self.
Higher
Higher
self.
self.
Please encode
Please
this
encode.
nutrient
Please
Please encode these nutrients
in a perfect balance
in the perfect balance
that is required
that is required
and clear and align
and clear and align
all pathways
all pathways
for maximum assimilation
for
maximization,
Maximization,
absorption,
absorption,
and utilization.
and
and utilization.
So just keep your eyes closed. You're going to feel waveforms coming through down your central column, and then the central column all the way to your base. And it's going to radiate out in all directions. You might shiver or move around. Okay? So it's integrating all the past life traumas that were cleared and the main level frequency programs we cleared. And the interferences that we also cleared. Okay. And just see how you feel now. I mean, my vision's got a little clearer. I'm doing that. Okay. That's a little taste of divine healing, people. We diagnose what needs to be cleared for the higher self. We clear it, and then we integrate it, which is what we do. And we go through many cycles of doing that during divine healing. Okay. And there are in divine healing in level 1, which was channeled by Almira Ariel Hilaire, who founded this, and other colleagues of ours, Shakira and Mary. Basically, there's 26 charts in divine healing you learn in level 1. And the higher self guides us in flowing through all these charts here to actually clear our ego onion in the right order. We did interferences, and we did main low frequency programs. We adjusted this past life death chart, so we actually used past life traumas, and we integrated it with nutrition. So a session moves around the different charts, and whatever is the right order, the higher self determines. And when we teach you this, we spend 4 days going through all these charts in a unique order for the class, and you learn how they work. Where I demonstrate them, I explain them first, then I demonstrate them, either on the whole class if it's a simple chart, or if it's more complex ones, someone becomes the class guinea pig for that chart, and I demonstrate on them. And then you go off in breakout rooms, and you give them receive the chart with our teaching team's assistance. It's like a 4-day healing intensive, and you come out really squeaky clean. And with a tool, you can keep changing, keep healing your onion, ego onion for yourself and for others. That's how we actually teach you. It's a very powerful process. You're in this 5th-dimensional bubble for 4 days. And you'll be at this really high frequency unity consciousness energy when we run this. Okay. Melissa, you got a question?
Yes, I had my eyes closed. Can you tell me what D13 was?
D13 was...
D is in dog.
Yeah, I heard that. D13 was vitamin B17.
Thank you.
Okay. And it actually doesn't matter what it was in the end. All that matters is how you feel now. How do you feel now after that?
I feel very relaxed. I think, I'm a Virgo, so I carry a lot in my nervous system. And yeah, I just feel really relaxed, like an airhead. And I do carry a lot of air in my sign, so I definitely feel very airheaded. Just like nothing can really bother me right now, if that makes sense. Like things that will come at me will just kind of ricochet off.
Yeah. Yeah, well, you're connected to unity consciousness when we do this. Okay. Does anyone else want to share that experience, how that was? Carissa?
Yeah, I felt hot flashes, and then suddenly I felt lighter, and I felt like a relief, like something left.
Yeah, well, it did. An old program left.
Yeah, I feel great. I feel amazing.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. Well, you can watch the video when we send it out to you later in the week and do it again, but there'll be a different layer of the ego and you will peel. It's very powerful. The video will hold the transmission for you.
Okay.
Anyone else want to share how that was? Even in the chat. Esther, do you want to volunteer how that was? You're not shy. You tend to speak out.
I can. It just, I have the same sensation that I have after meditations, that I feel like going inwards and staying just in my space.
Okay.
I feel I had superpower now right now, and I'm enjoying the space. That's
Okay.
all. It's been
We'll-
very cool.
We'll let you stay in the space.
Thank you.
All right. Anyone else want to share? Lavinia?
Yeah, the meditation. I haven't actually done that one for a long time,
Yeah.
and that was terrific expansion, and it felt really gorgeous.
Yeah.
To be in that space.
Yeah. Well, it's a remembrance of home, the unified chakra. Once you get the fifth dimensional high, you remember, this is home, this is where we come from. Remember I said at the beginning, this is a very dissonant reality. It's a taste of home, which is why it's so powerful. Okay, and the process of ascending, moving out of this game of separation from spirit, is to dissolve all our ego programs, manifest the new earth through manifesting our soul purpose, which is what we're doing today, so that we can go home in consciousness and take all the intense emotional learning, because we learn so much more by being in these dense physical bodies, although some days you might feel you might have a break from it. It's very intense. But we are sparks of God. We're all sparks of God. We just forgot initially who we were. We take that experience and we raise our consciousness, and eventually we get back to source over a very long period of time. We are sparks of the Creator creating throughout each moment of our life. That's what we're actually doing here. So the idea is to dissolve the ego completely and rise in consciousness. That's the purpose of divine healing. It was provided by Source, channeled through our mirror and the two others, so we could go home, basically. It comes from many different races of beings assisting us, because we asked for help to get home. Okay? All right. Melissa?
So, so I have a question. I'm curious. So, I know we're having this experience for God, and if God doesn't, he wants to continue having this experience. So, if it's his willfulness, right? How do we? Because I do feel like I can feel that peace with God, but then I feel like he's like, I'm not through with what you have to experience, and that's where I feel like, when I do the soul contract as well, like you're right, it's peeling off the layers, but I do feel like sometimes like my ego has calmed down and has really worked with my consciousness. But sometimes I feel like God is like, he's kind of like stubborn. He's like, I'm here having this experience through you, and you're going to continue having this experience. And to have that peace, harmony, and joy, it's just not your time yet. I mean, where can you kind of arrange from that? Because I do feel like I'm at peace right now, but I feel like my ego, or God, because I do feel like my ego is at bay from a lot of the healing that I have done. But I do feel like sometimes God is like, we're here to have fun. This is what it is. And like, what's your thoughts on that?
Well, the greatest gift that God gives us, we as sparks of the divine, is free will choice. Okay, you can do anything you like down here. All right. And the idea of that is so that we as sparks of the divine can explore all experiences. But you do have the thing called the law of karma. If you do something which is out of order, or creates a cause which affects others, particularly adversely, then it comes back to you, because it's part of a feedback mechanism to eventually get you to follow the pathway back to oneness. Okay, so God cannot impose upon us, Melissa, what we should do. All God does, in the spiritual sense, is give us the potential within our soul contract to have specific experiences. How we deal with those is entirely our choice. God cannot interfere, okay, in our choice. Okay, it's entirely up to us what we do. So if you choose to be in unity, be in that peaceful space and to ascend, that's your free will choice, and nothing can interfere with that. Okay, it's not God saying, it's not a biblical God saying thou shalt do this or that or the other, whether you like it or not. It's here's a set of energies in your soul contract that's going to create your life. Let's see what you do with it. And God just stands back and waits for you to come home. That's actually how
Right.
it works. So you can, if you decide you want peace and unity, want to go home, that's what's going to happen, provided you clear the programs in the way of it, which is what the divine healing is for. So there can be no interference. It's very karmic to interfere in the free will of anyone else. Okay, so you got to let people do what they want to do.
Yeah. I guess, this isn't a soul contract training or even a webinar, but I know with my 10 ones and my physical karma and my 9s and my destiny, and me being a Virgo and the psychology of a Virgo, I fit it to such a T that I will continue to analyze. And I feel like when I find that peace, that psychology part of it just pops right up. And I feel like that's why I've been really seeking so much in therapy, like the NLP, through talk therapy, through, even divine healing. And I feel like there's something inside of me that's saying, I'm here to have fun and have this experience and just keep trugging through. And I will find that peace and love, but it's just, my time. It's just really, I find it really interesting, and especially with my son being 20, and he's done so much research on all of this and all these different aspects and different philosophies. It's really interesting. And for me, I feel like being a Virgo and diligently, I'm trying to put, like I said, all these together. And I know that sometimes I get sidetracked and that's where I am right now. I love the soul contract and the numerology behind it, but I think it's the healing part. I just feel like I haven't, like nothing has really resonated with me, and I'm just curious why. But like through that meditation, it was so peaceful. But then my analytical mind is like, okay, now let's try to analyze why you're still feeling this. So
it's not necessary to analyze anything. It's just a matter of feeling your way through the layers of the ego onion and it's quite simple in the end. If you could feel your way through all your layers of the ego onion and do divine healing on it, you would get back to God really quick.
Mm-hmm.
There's no need to understand it. The soul just wants to feel the pathway of feeling separate and progressively feeling more and more connected to all that is.
Right.
That's actually what it really wants. The mind is just spinning its wheels, really. And I would suggest to you, because I'm a Virgo as well, it's about moving from analysis just to feeling. Okay, What are we doing next? Okay, we're going to feel our way through unworthiness. We're going to feel our way through disempowerment or lack of trust. There'll be different things go on each day, and it's about going through what's next. And that's all that matters. Understanding it doesn't actually help much, but feeling helps a lot more. Opening your heart, and just feeling it through step by step, and then the soul's getting the direct visceral experience of going home to God, which is all it wants. Okay, it doesn't have to be a why. All that matters is what's next. Okay, it's following the flow of energy, following what we call the spiritual signature. There's one right healing action and general action in life in each moment, and if you follow that, life unfolds very beautifully, more gracefully. I mean, if you think about how your lives are now, you think back 10 years, your life, you probably didn't imagine you'd be where you are now because someone else is in charge. It's soulless. Okay, the mind can think all sorts of lovely things, but it never really turns out that way. And often the way our lives turn out are better. There's a plan, and what we're doing, a divine plan from the higher self. And the more you connect with that and the journey following that plan to get back home to a source, and the more aligned you are, the more graceful it will be. And the more you manifest fulfilling things like your soul purpose, your contribution to creating the new earth, whatever that is. Okay, so actually life's quite simple in the end. It's like feel in your heart what is next, what opens your heart the most. Clear the barriers to feeling that, clear the barriers to whatever you were drawn to manifest today, and then life will unfold. 95% of what the mind worries about or thinks it's going to create never happened, as you might have noticed. Because it's just the mind out for a run. So the soul, the feeling in the body never lies. So any other questions about that? Or about divine healing in general? Oh, there's a question here. Gustavo, you need to unmute there on the left. Oh, there you go. Your microphone's on.
Hi, Nicolas. Hi, everyone. Can
Hello.
you hear me?
You can hear you clear.
Okay. Sorry, I haven't introduced myself. I'm speaking from São Paulo, Brazil.
Yeah.
So could you please describe, like, is it possible for you to describe what is that, like, how would you describe the feeling of like peeling all of the onions of the mind program? Can you describe like what am I supposed to feel? Like how is that feeling?
Well, you would, what happened? Let me show you the diagram again. Let's get back to that again. Yeah, here. Let's find the presentation here. Find my onion, my red onion. I like red onions. More tasty. Oh, I'm going to have a different color. That's not working too well. Let's find a different color here. Let's go for blue. So each layer will be a different feeling state, Gustavo. Okay? You're not going to know in advance till it comes up in consciousness. The onion, the surface layer of the onion comes up in your feeling consciousness, and you just feel whatever it is. It could be anger, it could be lack of trust, it could be unworthiness. You can't understand what it is till it turns up.
Okay.
It's not about understanding, it's just feeling whatever is. Then divine healing will clear it. And then the next layer will come up when it's ready. And the next layer till eventually this thing is peeled and you're much clearer. And then you just have the pure love of the soul, and life is flowing more gracefully, and good stuff is happening.
So if there is fear, if I've cleared fear, then I would feel that like that same fear that I have felt earlier in my life. Is that like when I'm clearing it?
Well, if it was a fear from, say, childhood, you'd feel it briefly, then you bring feeling consciousness to it like we've just done. Then you do the command code, then that layer's gone. Then you get on with life, then a few days later, a few hours later, another layer comes up and you work on that. Okay. So you just work with whatever's there. You don't have to go looking for it, it'll find you. Once the soul knows that you've got divine healing, if you're directed towards learning it or receiving it, it will then trigger the different layers to come out because you've got the right tool. So you don't have to understand anything. You just got to be present with it. That's all.
Okay.
It's not going to become continuously. You could just be going for days or weeks, not much happens, and suddenly something comes up and you work on it. Okay.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Does it help? Any other questions, people? All right. Melissa?
Kind of going back to my introduction when I said I was kind of looking for a non-talk therapy for a client, and you said there's a lot of talking. Is it kind of what we just went through where they're doing more repeating? Because I feel like when the modality I'm looking for them not to have to bring up so much stuff, like re-talk about what they're suffering from or the traumas that have brought them to where they are today. So divine healing is more not that, correct? You're not doing a lot of re-talking about your stuff. It's just more repeating.
It's not psychotherapy. It's nothing to do with psychotherapy. We're not trying to understand it.
Right.
You will get understanding from doing it. But the most important thing is to feel what it is. Okay, you're doing more of the talking to help them, just like I did with you guys, to bring consciousness to it. Then after bringing consciousness to it, then it's doing command codes when I've got enough consciousness to clear the program. And obviously they're going to be talking to you, telling you what's going on, but they're talking about feelings and the state they're in. That's the talking. It's nothing to do with understanding anything.
Okay, yeah, because I'm trying to avoid that. I think that's one thing I didn't really care for in NLP was bringing up stuff and surfacing it. So I was kind of like, as I was in my, 12 weeks, I kind of was like, I'm just not going to even think about what I want to talk about. And whatever comes up the day of my appointment as I'm sitting in the chair. And I feel like for me, I would rather have them talk and kind of work through my higher self, versus my subconscious kind of reinitiating, right? And my unconscious. So that's kind of why I was kind of looking at the divine healing, because I feel like I kind of got that from one of the practitioners when I worked it through it with her. But, when you said there was some talking in the beginning, I was just wanted clarification.
Well,
So
it's just managing the session, really. You've got to communicate, find out what's going on. Yeah, but we're not into psychoanalysis. We're not doing anything like that at all. Because that has its place, but this is not what we're doing here. We're trying to get direct to the feeling in the body. I find it's a much faster way to get to things. I mean, you've received the sessions, and you know the difference. You see, so.
Right. I do know there was a couple different practitioners I worked with, and they were definitely different. So I know people kind of massage their own way of doing their own modalities. I do have a second question about light body integration. Someone mentioned it earlier. Do you need to go through the divine healing level 5s to get introduced to the light body integration if you wanted to be a practitioner?
If you want to be what sort of practitioner, though, you mean?
Like working on like the light body, the options that you have on your website.
You mean to learn? You thinking of becoming a light body surgeon, a practitioner? Is that what you're talking about?
Correct. Yes.
Okay. I mean, light body integration is about completely different technology, spiritual technology. It's about removing the programs, beings, and structures that create the sense that you're a small, limited human being. It's not about healing, it's about awakening. Okay?
Gotcha.
All right. It's completely different technology. We have that because it very rapidly opens you up to higher consciousness. And a lot more higher frequency comes in your body and pushes out all the low frequency emotions and things like that. And then we use divine healing to clear them. Okay? And one of the prerequisites of learning to be a light body session is to have the first 4 levels of divine healing. A lot of the heavy emotions are going to come out in a hurry. You need the tools to be able to take them out, okay, to cope. So it's a very rapid rise in frequency in the body. Okay. So all surgeons need to have had 4 levels pretty much done by the time they start or very soon afterwards. Otherwise, you probably won't make it to the end of the training. Too much stuff will come out of the ego. It'll become too overwhelming from having taught it for. We taught this thing for probably 25 years. Yeah. So it's essential. Otherwise, you won't cope. It's a very rapid awakening.
Okay. So to be a client, do you have to have so many divine healing sessions with a practitioner to do a session with a light body surgeon?
Well, I mean, if you're want to train to be a surgeon, you need to have learned all 4 levels and be doing it regularly. But for a client, we tend to run the light body sessions. There's usually about 5 or 6 sessions. We often alternate because all light body surgeons are divine healers. They'll do light body. The light comes in, frequency rises, then they'll do a bit of divine healing to clear what's coming up. Then they'll go back to the next section of the light body process. So the idea is to sustainably and gracefully awaken someone without sending them off the edge emotionally. Okay, because of the frequency coming, because you can't have too much of the separation come out too quickly. It's too overwhelming for the personality. We're trying to keep, everyone's got families, kids, jobs. You've got to actually stay reasonably stable in the awakening process. Okay.
Thank you.
Does that help? Okay. Any other questions before I keep going? Okay. All right. Just a few more things to say here. So, in summary, building on what I said already, divine healing is a multi-dimensional system whose purpose is to open to grace. It's a very simple, quick and profound, and very accurate set of healing tools which you can use on yourself and others to reconnect to spirit at all levels. It's very self-empowering, and it's keys to higher consciousness, really. Okay. And what it can enable you to do is to really make your life happen, to clear that stuckness, the blockages which seem insurmountable. It can take about most things. And it does help you understand, once you've cleared it, you understand, well, what was the underlying programming creating this blockage? And it means you can manifest your dreams and your vision, which is what we're doing today. Heal very deeply and completely. I mean, I've done this for about nearly 20 years, and I've gone from being very traumatized and frozen to being much more emotionally mobile and having a much more fulfilled life. And it enables you to reconnect to your true essence and tap into your gifts and qualities. Have a lot more love, joy, and fun, and open to the flow of abundance. So you become the master of your life. Basically, you take charge, and you can create the reality you desire because you've cleared enough of your ego. And you sort of at a threshold where you can start to deliver your gift of service to the world with it. So what we're basically doing with divine healing is that we're bringing consciousness to all our mud in our life, all the karmic stuff, and we're transmuting it and growing lotuses out of it because we regard everything as one. That's the basic model of divine healing. So we're very interested in the mud and transmuting it because that's the raw material to create a better life. And there are 3 key programs in the human ego that we need to work on. When we are born, the sense of being abandoned by God, feeling unworthy to be loved by God, and mistrusting God. So our egos are built from some combination of these 3 in a very unique way. And divine healing helps us clear all those. And what most people do when these things are triggering is that they go into avoidance. Okay, where they numb out, they don't want to feel the feelings. And things don't progress so well in life if you don't avoid things. And as you wake up on the spiritual path, we tend to naturally judge it, or the ego judging itself and feeling bad about its programs. But we're going the 3rd wave of divine healing. We're turning our consciousness to resonate with and own the program, bring feeling consciousness to it in the body, finding the origin, and then using the higher self to clear it, which is what we've been doing today. So you get really clear. And as a result of that, we move from path of suffering, which is following the ego, which is the left brain. It's a little ego here. And you expand your consciousness into the vastness of spirit. We're opening to higher consciousness. We move from this path of suffering, and divine healing, its effect is to move us over here to following what we call the spiritual signature, the path of bliss, where in each moment there's one right action that opens our heart the most. And as we converge on it, as we do divine healing, or receive divine healing, life flows more gracefully to the point where you're just in the moment, and then you feel what to do next, and then the next good thing happens, and the next thing, life unfolds without the same massive struggle you had when we're younger. So the idea is to move from this world of suffering into this world of flow. Okay, and when you do that, then life becomes a joy. Okay, this is probably the most important chart I'm going to show you today. So how can you learn how to do this if you're interested? So to continue manifesting the new earth, or your piece of it in the new earth, we run divine healing in a 4-day intensive on Zoom. And the next one is, we run it twice a year. The next one is 3rd to 6th of October, over a long weekend. It goes for 8 hours. It's 12:30 to 8:30 UK time. It's 4 1.5-hour slots with 2 20-minute breaks and 1 hour meal break. It's 1:30 p.m. in European time, 7:30 a.m. Eastern time, 4:30 a.m. Pacific time. So we set the time up because I can't teach beyond 8:30. So we start at 4:30. So people used to fly to England for this. So we try and cover from the west coast of North America out to the Middle East, sometimes India with this time period. And you can find out more about the training at divinehealingtraining.com. And the full fee is about $700 US, about £571. We have a deposit here, which is included in this fee for £193 or $240. And the cost of it's equivalent to about 5.5 hours of private sessions. So it's much better value because you can just work on yourself whenever you need to. So it's very empowering. Once you realize you can change your own programs, the ego's grip on us gets a lot less. Because it sort of tells us these programs are permanent, nothing you can do about it. Then you realize, actually, you're not permanent. You've been telling me a lot of lies my whole life. I can clean you up and you can get on and do it. Okay, so it's very powerful like that. So that's there if you feel drawn to it. And you meet some lovely people. We have a great time. And you come out, you're in this 5-year bubble, and you're going to come out really clean and clear. And a lot of things which are maybe holding you back will be gone. And you'll continually be able to keep shifting them with this work. Okay. Any other questions, people? Comments? Mate? No? Well, thank you for coming and engaging. Okay, drink some water after this because you'll probably be detoxing quite a lot. And if you watch the video again later, you will you get the same transmission. It's very strong. Don't do it when you're driving or anything like that. It's very, very strong. Okay. So have a good evening or afternoon.
Thank you so much.
What's that?
Thank you very much.
Okay.
Thank you.
Take care,
Bye,
people.
David. Bye, everybody.
Thank you.
All right. Bye.
Bye.